Today's Sunshine Note is titled, What Are You Here For? This is what the Sovereign Lord says. This is Jerusalem, which I have set in the center of the nations, with countries all around her. Yet in her wickedness she has rebelled against my laws and decrees more than the nations and countries around her. She has rejected my laws and has not followed my decrees. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 5 and 6. When I was 20 years old, I worked for some people who owned 3 restaurants. One of the restaurants was located in Mercer Island, an affluent community on an island in the middle of Lake Washington, between Seattle and Bellevue, Washington. I was hired to manage the restaurant, hire and fire employees, keep the food supply fresh, and make sure that customers had a wonderful dining experience. One night we were just slammed with customers. Everybody was working hard and running to get up with customer demand. In the middle of the fray, one of my waitresses stomped up to me with a scowl on her face and said, "If it wasn't for all these customers, I could get some work done." Then she stomped off. The irony of this statement, of course, is that without customers, the waitress wouldn't have a job at all. In the text we read today, God announces a truth that hadn't seemed to dawn on Israel. He proclaimed that he had set Jerusalem in the middle of the world, the part that was known to them anyway. Right in the middle of Egypt, Assyria, and Babylon stood Jerusalem, the city of God. Well, at least it was supposed to be the city of God. Instead, it became the city of all kinds of gods. It ceased to honor God with its existence. Just like my waitress friend, Jerusalem did not seem to realize why God had put it there. Have you ever realized that you are where you are, created to be who you are for a reason? Did you know that God has placed you on this earth for a purpose? Your faithfulness and your allegiance to your Creator can be a testimony to the people around you who desperately need to know His love. Don't be like Jerusalem and get caught up in the things of this world. The Israelites got distracted and left their calling for a life that eventually led them to disaster. Our calling is to honor God, lift Him up, and let the world know that we are His. This is what the Sovereign Lord says. This is Jerusalem, which I have set in the center of the nations, with countries all around her. Yet in her wickedness she has rebelled against my laws and decrees more than the nations and countries around her. She has rejected my laws and has not followed my decrees. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 5 and 6. May God bless you today.